be important with understanding our future discussions. Now, an organism's DNA containing arrays of genes is organized into structures called chromosomes. These chromosomes serve as vehicles for transmitting genetic information. So normally, the chromosomes are visible during mitosis and meiosis. So I'm just having quick pauses kasi meron pang nag-join. Again, normally, chromosomes are visible only during mitosis and meiosis. When cells are not undergoing division, the genetic material making up chromosomes, they disperse, unfold, or uncoil into a diffuse network within the nucleus. So can you remember what we call that kind of structure? So initially daw yung chromosomes natin, no, from a compound or isang buo siya, a chunk of the structure. Initially, kapag walang visible na chromosomes, dispersed lang yan, parang mga noodles or strings. So what do we call these structures? Okay, we have chromatin. So itong dispersed, diffused, or uncoiled network of structure within the nucleus, this is first known as chromatin. So ito pa lang yung visible before mitosis. Kapag naman compound na siya, pinagsama-sama, kapag isa pa lang, this is your chromatid. And then a pair of chromatid, yung ating sister chromatids, we have now your chromosome. Okay, two major processes involved in genetic continuity of the nucleated cells. We have your mitosis and meiosis. Although the mechanisms of these two processes are similar in many ways, the outcomes are quite different. As for mitosis, it leads to the production of two cells. So ang product natin dito, ito na pala, two cells with the same number of chromosomes as their parent cell. So initially, kung nag-start tayo with a diploid number of 46, ang ating product daw ay dalawang cells, two daughter cells having the same number of chromosomes. So 46 pa din. As compared to meiosis, wherein the genetic content is reduced by half. So kung nag-start tayo as 46, ang product dito ay 4 na daughter cells. So 4 daughter cells each having 23 kasi kalahati, no? Kalahati nung ating parent cell. So yun yung major difference ng mitosis and meiosis. So kanina meron sa ating quiz, if I'm not mistaken, if the diploid number, so meron kasi tayong example doon, hindi ako nag-stick sa 46. If the diploid number is, I forgot the exact number kanina, but let's just say, if it is 50, ano yung haploid number natin? Will it still be 23? No. Yung kalahati ng diploid number mo, yun yung sagot. So which is 25. 23 kung yung ating diploid number is 46, but take note of the example. Kung naiba yung example, so yun yung susundin natin. Okay, going back. So itong reduction na to, this reduction in the number of chromosomes, this is very important. Kasi saan ba nangyayari yung meiosis? This is for the sex cells or gametes. So what are the sex cells? We have either the sperm cells or the egg cells. Saan ba sila ginagamit? In the formation of your zygote or yung ating fertilized egg. So again, 23 yung ating number dito. Forming now a total of 46 dun sa ating zygote. So imagine if hindi iyan na-reduce in half, pwedeng mag-double yung genetic material. So let's just say hindi naging kalahati yung content dun sa sperm cell. Let's just say 46 pa din siya. Kapag napunta yung 46 na yon sa inyong zygote. And then, of course, the other half will be coming from the egg cell. So, 46 plus 23, it will be deviated from the normal number of chromosomes already. That will lead to further aberrations or abnormalities, which we will discuss in the future topics. So, that reduction in the stage of meiosis is essential if the sexual reproduction is to occur without doubling the amount of genetic material in each of the new generation. Okay, so I have a question here. So, bali yung answer po doon ay D. Kung wala doon yung kung wala doon yung sa dalawa sa A and B, then the answer is letter D. Doon sa question ko regarding the diploid and then the haploid. Okay, so just an overview of what happens in the cell division. For today, we'll focus only in mitosis. The process of mitosis, this is important in all eukaryotic organisms. So question, can mitosis occur in reproduction? If you have answers or if you have guesses, you may use the chat function. Again, if, what's my question? Can mitosis occur in reproduction? Yes or no? Ulitin ko ha. Can mitosis occur in reproduction? Yes or no? What do you think? Okay, I have no, I have yes. Okay, so good job. So if that will be the question, can mitosis occur in reproduction? That is very generic, no? Hindi naman ako nagsabi kung anong klaseng organism, hindi ko sinabi kung anong type of reproduction. If that will be my question, the answer is yes. So can mitosis occur in reproduction? Yes, specifically saan? Sa mga single-celled organisms. Single-celled organisms such as protozoans. We have some fungi and also algae. So what kind of reproduction? Asexual. Now, in multicellular diploid organisms, such as humans, we begin life as single-celled fertilized eggs called the zygotes. And the subsequent daughter cells that will be produced by the mitotic activity of the zygotes is the foundation for the development and growth of the organism. So saan pa natin makikita yung mitotic activity? We have in adult organisms, yung mitotic activity, this is also the basis for wound healing and also cell replacement. Example, we have the epidermal cells of the skin. And also we have the intestinal lining of humans. So epidermal cells, intestinal lining, continuously lang naman yung nagsashed off and they are replaced due to the process of mitosis. Another example, we have your reticulocytes. Can you remember your reticulocytes? Yung reticulocytes natin, this is the last immature stage before leading to a mature RBC. So remember, meron niyang enucleated nuclei. So yung continuous production niyan to replenish the supply of red blood cells is also associated with mitosis. Now, in abnormal cases wherein yung ating somatic cells or body cells lose control of that cell division, it can lead to the formation of a tumor. So overly producing yung cells, it may now lead to a tumor. So next we have karyokinesis, wherein the genetic material is partitioned into daughter cells during nuclear division. This process is quite complex and technically requires great precision because in karyokinesis, yung karyo natin means nucleus, kaya nuclear division, the chromosomes here must first be exactly replicated and then accurately partitioned. And result natin will still be the production of two daughter nuclei. And again, the composition of that daughter cells are identical to that of your parent cell. After karyokinesis, this is followed by cytoplasmic division. So cytokinesis, cytoplasmic division. This less complex process requires a mechanism that partitions the volume into two parts. Afterwards, it encloses each new cell in a distinct plasma membrane. And as the cytoplasm is reconstituted, susunod naman yung production ngayon ng ating mga organelles. So karyokinesis followed by cytokinesis. Meron na tayo ngayong plasma membrane, distinct plasma membrane enclosing your daughter cells, followed by the organelle formation either by replication ng mga organelles inside of the daughter cells. It can also arise from existing membrane structures or they are synthesized de novo or anew in each of the daughter cells. So that is basically the overview of our cell division. So let's discuss per phase naman, no? The phases of our cell cycle. Many cell divisions transform a fertilized egg into a full-grown adult, and your cell cycle is a series of events that describe the sequence of activities a cell prepares for division and then divides. Basically, yung mga events na nangyayari dito, these are occurring from the completion of one division until the completion of the next division. Ano ba yung mga phases na yon? We will go back to interphase and your mitosis. So interphase, we have G1, S, and G2. Mitosis, we have prophase, prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So interphase, we will consider this as the initial stage of the cell cycle. Or the interval between divisions. Because basically, inter means between. So it reflects that interphase takes place between mitotic phase or the M phase and the next. So nasa gitna lang siya nung dalawang mitosis. Yung patapos ng mitosis at saka yung pasimulang mitosis. Kaya siya tinawag na interphase. So what are the events occurring in that initial phase, we have the following. So this interphase is not devoted solely to cell's growth and normal function. This is also when the cell replicates the DNA on each chromosome. DNA synthesis occurs before the cell enters mitosis, and this period is what we call the S phase. If you want to check the initiation and completion of the synthesis phase or ang ating S phase, you can do that by monitoring the incorporation of a radioactive precursor, which is attached into the DNA. Again, if you want to check the initiation and completion of the synthesis phase, you can do that by monitoring the incorporation of radioactive precursors into the DNA. Now, there are two periods during interphase in which there is no synthesis. Yung ating GAP1 at saka yung GAP2. And during G1, S, and G2, merong intensive metabolic activity, cell growth, and cell differentiation that is happening. So what is happening ba sa ating G1 phase? Usually sa G1, this is where the cells accomplish most of their growth. So the cells gets bigger in size. They also makes protein and other organelles that will be needed for the normal function of the DNA synthesis. This is also where the centromere and other components of the centrosomes are made. And once the cell is ready for replication, we enter now the S phase. So S phase meaning synthesis. So meron tayong pinoproduce or sinisynthesize, which is the complete copy of the DNA. Aside from the DNA, this is also where the duplication of the centrosomes happen. Because later on, yung ating centrosome, this will be used for the separation of DNA or chromosomes during the mitosis phase. So S phase, synthesis ng complete copy of the DNA. Aside from that, it duplicates the centrosome. Then once duplications are complete, it will now enter the G2. During now the second gap phase, so lagay ko na lang sa baba, second gap phase or the G2, gap 2 phase, this is where the, what do you call this, meron tayo ditong checkpoint na tinatawag. Wherein quality control is made. Ano yung sine-check natin dito? The integrity of the DNA. So by the end of G2, DNA has been replicated, the cell volume has doubled. It will now enter the M phase or mitosis. And following mitosis, continuously dividing cells repeat the cycle over and over. Now, there is a point during G1 where all cell follows one of two paths. They can either withdraw from the cell cycle, they can become quiescent and enter what we call the G0 stage, or they can become committed to proceed sa G1 and complete the cell cycle. Cells that enter this G0, they still remain viable. They are still metabolically active, but take note that they are not proliferative. Viable, metabolically active, and not proliferative, cells entering the G0 phase is neither dividing nor preparing for division. Hence, this is also known as the resting phase. So while inside the G0 stage, these cells are performing their other cellular duties. So ginamit dito yung term na quiescent. This quiescence is still reversible, meaning that they can leave the G0 stage or they can just stay. If they leave, they can progress along the cell cycle into the interphase. Example ng mga cells na pumapasok dito, yung mga stem cells. Stem cells, they can exit their quiescent G0 phase. What are stem cells ulit? These are unspecialized cells that have the potential to give rise to any type of cell in the human body. So they can divide and create more stem cells, or they can become specialized cells such as muscle cells and so on. When they are not in the interphase or mitosis, they just remain in the G0 phase. Aside from the quiescent cells na pumapasok sa G0, meron din tayong tinatawag na senescent cells or cells that have become too old, dysfunctional, or they are not capable of dividing anymore. Kung yung ating quiescent type of cells inside the G0 is still reversible, inactive lang siya doon, and then later on, pwedeng lumabas ulit ng G0 to proceed with the actual cell cycle. Kabaliktaran naman ngayon yung mga senescent cells. These are irreversible na. So why do cells enter G0? Cells, they might enter the G0 phase because number one, they no longer need to divide. So ano yung mga cells nun? Example, when they just have finished mitosis. So mag-rest lang muna sila doon sa G0 phase. Another reason is that they lack the necessary nutrients and energy to divide. They lack nutrients and energy to divide, such as with the case of senescent cells entering G0. So why do cells enter G0? No longer need to divide. They lack nutrients and energy lack the necessary nutrients and energy to divide. Now, cytologically, your interface is characterized by the absence of visible chromosomes. No, chromosomes are not visible during the interface. Question, does this mean that there is no genetic material in this phase? So wala namang visible chromosomes eh. So does it mean that there is no genetic material currently in this phase? Yes or no? So again, chromosomes, they are not visible during interphase. So does that mean that there is no genetic material in this interphase? Okay, I have no, no, okay. No, meron po. No. So why do you think wala? Or bakit tingin nyo meron? So the answer here is no. So does it mean na wala na bang genetic material? So hindi naman yun yung case. Hindi man visible yung ating impact or condensed na chromosome dito, but there is still the presence of chromatin fibers. So the nucleus here is still filled with chromatin fibers, and later on, it will form your chromosome. So meron pa ding presence of genetic material as early as interphase. Okay, nucleus is present. Yes, correct. Because it houses the genetic material, which is the DNA. So once G1, S, and the G2 are completed, mitosis now is initiated. Again, your mitosis is a dynamic period of vigorous and continual activity. And the entire process of mitosis is subdivided into prophase, prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, which we will now discuss. So first we have prophase. Over half of mitosis is spent in this phase, and one of the early events in prophase of all animal cells is the migration of two pairs of centrioles to the opposite ends of the cell, as seen here in our GIF. So napunta siya dun sa opposite ends of the cell. These structures are termed as barrel-shaped, and they are just found outside the nuclear envelope in an area of differentiated cytoplasm, which we call the centrosome. So again, yung centrioles natin, they are centrioles, a pair of that is your centrosome. And the centrioles, they migrate to establish poles at opposite ends of the cell. After migration, the centrioles are responsible for organizing your cytoplasmic tubules into spindle fibers. So later on, it will be organized into spindle fibers. It will create an axis along which the chromosomal separation will happen. So as the centrioles migrate, yung nuclear envelope din, as you can notice, nawawala. Nuclear envelope begins to break down and then it gradually disappears. The effect of that is that it will also disintegrate the nucleolus within our nucleus. So nuclear envelope, it begins to break. Nucleolus disintegration. And while these events are taking place, the diffuse chromatin fibers began to condense. Yung mga chromatin sa loob, they began to condense until a distinct thread-like structure, which we call the chromosomes, become visible. Now, it becomes apparent near the end of prophase that each chromosome is just actually a double structure which is split longitudinally except at a single point of constriction. Itong constricted na area na to is what we call the centromere. The two parts of each chromosome are called your sister chromatids because the DNA contained in each of them is genetically identical. So they are formed from a single replicative event during the interphase. So initially, isa lang siya. And then after replication, magiging dalawa during the synthesis phase of your interphase. So question, so initially yung chromatin natin during interphase, di ba isa lang? And then after synthesis, again, the genetic material will be doubled. So magiging dalawa na siya, ganyan na yung isura. How do we count this? Is this just one or will we count this as two? One, two, or just one? So what do you think? Okay, I have answers already. So let's see later no sa ating next slide. So let's just leave this hanging question for now. So your sister chromatids, going back, are held together by protein complexes which we call cohesin. So yung constriction sa gitna, point of constriction, centromere, but the sister chromatids are held together by protein complex which we call cohesin. So the reason why I asked you earlier is because of this one. It's very important to remember that even though one cannot see the chromatids in the interface, so chromatin pa lang kasi yung kita natin, yung uncoiled, dispersed genetic material inside the nucleus, take note that the chromosomes are already double structures. So paano nangyari yon? Remember that we have the synthesis during interface wherein ang ating chromatin is, the genetic material which is DNA is doubled. So this can be depicted itong sa graph, diagram that I included wherein yung image A1 hanggang 5, they show what happened with the DNA para meron tayong clearer picture. While yung image B1 hanggang B5 naman, it shows somewhat a realistic appearance ng chromosomes natin along the process. So initially sa ating G1 phase, since hindi pa synthesized or doubled yung genetic material, it appears as a single strand of chromatin. But pagdating ng ating S phase, it is doubled and still connected in a point of constriction. This is still counted as one. No? Para siyang 1A and then 1B because it is still from the same genetic material na doble lang siya. So later on, itong na doble na to, yung paghihiwalayin natin later pagdating ng future stages. But for now, it is important to remember that even in interphase, double structures na yung ating chromosomes. So next, let's proceed to pro-metaphase and metaphase. The distinguishing event of these two ensuing stages is the migration of every chromosome, which is led by its centromeric region to the equatorial plane. Our equatorial plane, yung nasa gitna, this is also known as your metaphase plate. This is the midline region of the cell, which is a plane that lies perpendicular to the axis, which is established by the spindle fibers. So again, ano yung tawag sa barrel shape na structure na to? Barrel shape structure, centriole. Okay, wag malilito. Centrioles, ayan, nagkalituhan na sila, okay? Yan, centrioles, no? Itong nandito sa barrel, yung barrel-shaped structure at the opposite ends of the poles. We have your centrioles, yung constriction ng ating chromosome, centrosome. Yung ating centromere. Okay, sulat natin dito. So, centrioles, yung barrel-shaped structure, centrosome, yung pair ng centrioles. How about centromere? Point of constriction. How about cohesin? Cohesin holds together the chromo. Okay. Holds the sister. Okay, very good. So cohesin, it holds your sister chromatids together. So the term prometaphase, this refers to the period of chromosome movement. Pag prometaphase, basta yung hanggang sa makareach siya ng alignment dun sa center. And then lahat ng mga mangyayaring processes afterwards, still inside metaphase, yun na yung metaphase proper. So prometaphase, migration of or the period of movement ng ating chromosomes to the equatorial plane. Once aligned na dun sa equatorial plane, what will happen? So after migration, there is now the degradation ng ating cohesin. So later on, after metaphase, anaphase will deal with the separation ng ating sister chromatids. Remember, meron niyang pinagdikit sa, meron niyang pandikit, which is our cohesin. So in order for that to happen, kailangan muna nating ma-degrade yung ating cohesin. And the protein responsible for that degradation is separase. Separase, it will degrade up to this portion lang sa gilid, but not the portion inside the centromere region. Why? Because this portion in the centromere region, it has an additional protective component which is known as shugoshin. Shugoshin, this is from the Japanese word meaning guardian spirit. So even if na-degrade na natin yung nandun sa may arms ng ating chromosome, it will still remain intact. So paano po siya maghihiwalay? Later on sa anaphase, we will discuss. But for now, separase, it will degrade this cohesin sa arms ng ating chromosome, except sa centromere region, because again, it still has its protective protein, which is called shugoshin. Shugoshin from the Japanese meaning guardian spirit, it protects your cohesin from being degraded by separase at the centromeric regions. So at the completion of metaphase, each centromere is aligned at the metaphase plate and the chromosome arms extending outward in a random array. So M, middle, para dun sa kanilang metaphase plate. So aligned at the middle or the equatorial plane, metaphase plate. This is now followed by your anaphase. Anaphase, don't forget A for away. This is the shortest stage of mitosis. So remember, meron pa tayong nakadikit na part dun sa centromeric region. So how will it be degraded? For a complete separation or an event described as disjunction to happen, first, your shugoshin must be degraded. It will be degraded by what we call the anaphase promoting complex. And then afterwards, the cohesin complex holding that centromeric region can now be cleaved by separase. So wag malilito, anaphase promoting complex, what does it degrade? Yung shugoshin pa lang. Hindi pa niya na-degrade yung cohesin that attach the two chromatids in the centromere region yet. After mawala nung protective layer which is the shugoshin, doon pa lang matatanggal yung cohesin by still separase. So wala na yung shugoshin, wala na rin yung cohesin. The sister chromatids can now be pulled apart toward the opposite poles of the cell. So as these events proceed, each migrating chromatid is now referred to as our daughter chromosome. So the steps of your anaphase are critical in providing each subsequent daughter cell with an identical set of your chromosomes. So in human cells, there would still be 46 kung ang ating starting number is 46. Sa interface, before interface 46, sa interface 46 pa din siya. Pagdating ng mitosis, 46, and then at the end of mitosis, 46. So pare-pareho lang siya ng chromosome number because that is the goal for you to produce the same number of chromosomes such as the parent cell in mitosis. Lastly, we have telophase. So at the beginning of telophase, two complete sets of chromosomes are present on each pole. So tig 46 dito. And the most significant event of the stage is what we call cytokinesis. Cytokinesis, again, this is the division or partitioning of the cytoplasm. Cytokinesis is essential if we are to produce two new cells. And the mechanism of cytokinesis differs greatly in plant and animal cells, but the end result is just the same, the formation of two new cells. Take note of the evident cell furrow, which is the characteristic of newly divided cells, yung magkakaroon siya ng constriction dito sa gitna. So that is your cell furrow. I'm just admitting students. Okay, now that we have two new cells, yung chromosomes natin kanina that are condensed, yung mukhang pa-X, mag-uncoil ulit siya, it will become diffuse chromatin once again. The nuclear envelope will reform and the spindle fibers will now disappear. The nucleolus will reform and become visible, and at the completion of telophase, the cell enters interphase again. So paulit-ulit lang. So basically, yung telophase natin parang kabaliktaran siya ng prophase, no? Yung prophase natin wherein the chromatin, it will condense to become your chromatid to chromosome. And then pagdating naman ng telophase, tatanggalin ulit natin yung buo-buo na yon. The chromatid or chromosomes, they will disperse to become chromatin once again. So here we have a summary of all the stages. We have now your, again, interface wherein the chromosomes are extended, they are still uncoiled, forming the chromatin. So initially, if 46 yung ating parent cell, meron tayong mga chromatin na dispersed dito. Pagdating ng S phase, magkakaroon siya ng kapartner kasi 'di ba magdo-double yung kanilang genetic material, but they are still counted as one. Hindi siya magiging times 2 kasi yung isang chromatin natin pag na-doble, ba't ang layo? Ayan. They will just be counted as 1. Magiging double structures lang. So, papasok ngayon ng mitosis na 46 na may double structures. Pagdating ng prophase, mas lalo siyang kakapal yung mga chromatin natin. Will now be your chromatids. Sister chromatids are also known as your chromosomes. They will coil up, condense, and then centrioles will divide and move apart. Mapupunta dito sa opposite poles of your cell. Prometaphase, lahat ng referring to the period of chromosome movement, papunta dun sa equatorial plane. Once aligned na sa gitna, we'll have your metaphase. Another distinguishing event ng metaphase natin, yung degradation ng cohesin with separase, except again sa ating centromeric region. Why? What is present in the centromere region that prevents cohesin to be degraded? We have the Japanese guardian spirit, which is your Shugoshin. So, saan siya matatanggal pagdating ng anaphase? So, what will degrade your Shugoshin in the anaphase? Shugoshin muna. What will degrade Shugoshin? Your anaphase promoting complex. Pag wala na yung guardian na ulitin natin. So, Shugoshin, it will be degraded by anaphase promoting complex. Wala na si Shugoshin. Pwede na nating ma-degrade si cohesin. Ano ang magde-degrade kay cohesin sa anaphase? Still separase. Good. Okay, so degraded na yung ating cohesin, pwede nang maghiwala yung double structures natin. So yung double structures natin, since ano lang naman counted as 1. So 46 dito sa kabilang pole, 46 sa kabila, ending now will be your two daughter cells na tig 46 pa din. So if I'm going to ask you, just in case na lumabas sa quiz or the exam, so how many chromosomes are present in the interphase, mitosis, and the let's reconstruct that. How many chromosomes are present at the beginning of interphase, At the start of mitosis and at the end of mitosis, these are your choices. Letter A, 23, 46, and 46. Letter B, 46, 192, and 46. Letter C, 192, 46, 46. Letter D, 46, 46, 23. Or E, none of the above. What is the answer? So how many chromosomes are present at the start of interphase, at the start of mitosis, and at the end of mitosis? What is the answer? So let me just check the answers. Wait, kulang yung aking question. So if the diploid number or yung ating starting number is 46, o you continue, what will be the answer? If the starting number is 46, how many chromosomes are present at the start of interphase, at the start of mitosis, and at the end of mitosis? What is your answer? Okay, may given tayo 46, no? Nagsimula ang ating parent cell daw, yung start is 46. Ilan ang chromosome sa simula ng interphase? Ilan ang chromosome sa simula ng mitosis? And ilan pagkatapos ng mitosis? Mitosis ito ha. Okay, the answer is letter E. None of the above. Okay, so bakit? Because it's all has to be the same chromosome number. Okay, good. So dapat 46, 46, and 46.